What's up guys, Try My Milk here, and I'm here today to do a top 20 for you. Now, sorry if it's been quite a gap between my videos. Basically, I was kind of celebrating my birthday and stuff, and I just never really had the time, but I'm back now. I have missed some films to review, like Christopher Robin and that. But to celebrate the release of Avengers Infinity War on Blu-ray on the UK, because I got it pre-ordered on the 3rd of September, it was a birthday present of mine, and it came just on time, and I just remember binge watching all the special features and the actual film, and next I'm just going to watch the audio commentary, well, listen to it, as I'd love to, delve deeper in what they were actually making, but, anyway, let's get this out of the way. Let's start the list. Number 20 is Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2, I generally think, is a bad movie. I don't like it at all. I think it's messy. I think it's broken. The only good thing about it is Robert Downey Jr. in the suitcase suit. I'll still watch it if I want to watch all, but it's a bit poopy. It does introduce Black Widow. You could definitely see an element of a good movie somewhere deep in there. I think the villain is absolutely terrible. At least it's not the worst villain. The worst villain is in the next movie in the list. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man 2. Number 19, Thor the Dark World. Like I said, with the worst villain is definitely the Dark Elf. Who remembers his name? And they actually had a good actor for him, the guy who played Doctor Who for only one season, but he was good. And he's also in Legend as well, with 2 Tom Hardys. But, great thing is about Thor the Dark World is its visuals. You can definitely see that the director has a unique vision, and it's a very badass looking film. That's the only praise I can say about it. Overall, it's a pretty poopy movie. It's not the best. It's just a bit shit, but it has some funny moments. The visuals are good. Loki is definitely the shine in this, and that's why I think if Loki wasn't in it at all, or wasn't as good as they wrote him to be, I think this would be number 20, but Loki saved the day again. Number 18 is the first Thor. Thor 1, I think, is a weird movie. People say it's good, people say it's okay, people say it's bad. I'm sort of on the okay but bad side. The issue is, not the issue. The good thing about it is it's a very funny movie. The director's very talented, and he creates a good story with Thor. But I just feel like the way it was sort of executed, and, it's not memorable, it's quite forgettable, and it's a bit cheesy when it doesn't need to be. But I'd say it's on the okay, nearer to the bad, but I'd say it's okay. Number 17, The Incredible Hulk. People say this is the worst one in the MCU. I completely understand, but I think it's okay. I quite enjoyed Tim Roth in it as can't believe I forgot his name. I quite enjoyed Tim Roth's role. He does it well. I really do like the look of Hulk. I think he's quite badass. Look, like I remember seeing the Avengers in 2012 and thinking they've made Hulk look worse, but I've kind of grown to love the new look of Hulk now. But I remember being slightly disappointed that Edward Norton wasn't back. But it's an okay movie. Number 16, Captain America the First Avenger. I think this is an okay good movie. Captain America the First Avenger is a fun World War II movie, and that shouldn't be the case, to be honest, because it is World War II. It shouldn't be fun, but it is fun. It's directed by the guy who directed the original Jumanji, so it's kind of more of a family film. Well, it's nothing to do with family, but I mean, like, you go with your family to see it. And yeah, it's an okay, good movie. You know, Captain America. You know, he is slightly boring in this one. He's not the Captain America we love now. He's definitely a lot more badass now. But it's just nice to see how he was, you know, created. And there's some memorable characters in this, including Agent Carter, who got her own TV show. You know? Number 15. The one which a lot of people say is really shit. Avengers Age of Ultron. Avengers Age of Ultron. Don't get me wrong. It is one giant setup. But to be honest, for a giant setup, it's actually good. You know, Joss Whedon had a lot of issues with this, but what he made out of it's pretty, you know, it's quite talented. I kind of respect for a film that has this many problems to be a good film, like more to the okay. But you know, I'd say it's good. It's funny. It's memorable to me. Ultron is definitely the most disappointing thing about it. I really liked his strings line and the way they portrayed him in the teaser trailer, but now he's this robot that jokes around about making omelets. No, Ultron, that's not you. You're not like Tony Stark. You're a badass, okay? And they kind of ruined that. But yeah, I really like the introduction for Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I do think it's traditional Disney that they said, oh, we're killing off a character in this one. Yeah, we're killing off a character which has just been introduced. Number 14. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp was slightly disappointing in my eyes, because I remember in the UK we had to wait a month because of the World Cup. And that kind of peed me off, because I was looking forward to this movie. Because first of all, we just had Avengers Infinity War. We've just been impacted by this universe. So why wouldn't I look for another Marvel movie? So I had high expectations for this. I would have thought they would have learned from their mistakes in the first one, even though the first one is fun. But to be honest, I think for a month's wait and a month's excitement, it's not that good. Like, it's a good movie, but it's like Age of Ultron levels. It's, I don't have an urge to see it in the cinemas again. I've had the chance, but then I've gone, but do I want to? I think the first act is just dog shit. I think by the second and third, you know, they pick up, you know, they get it on the right level of pace. I generally think the Wasp was more entertaining in the first one than this one. And I found the first one 10 times funnier, the third, like, for the 7th time watching it, than the first time watching Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's not a good thing, you know? And the funniest jokes were, in fact, in the trailer. Which, yeah, you should put funny jokes in your trailer, but don't put the best. Well, the best joke isn't actually in the trailer. It's the super serum one, if you've seen it. I've expected you've all seen it now. Number 13. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. At first, I wasn't sure. Its second viewing, I really like it, and now I like it. You know, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, the narrative sucks. You cannot explain what this movie's about, unless if you want to spoil the last act. The story kicks in on the 3rd act. Then don't say, oh, Peter finds his father, that's the story. No, that's not really a story. That's more of a subplot. Not gonna lie, that ties in to the story. Because, you know, you've got all the... I feel like the other side villains are stupid, the cheesy, and the goofy. Yeah, that may suit the tone, but, you know, they're just stupid. I feel like you could have cut those out. It's literally a 30-minute movie jammed into a 2-hour movie. The movie could have been Peter finds his father after that first, and Peter finds his father. His father wants to fucking destroy planets. He's got to stop his own father because he gave his mom cancer. You know? Don't get me wrong, I think the best thing about that film is that plot twist. I think 2017 for Marvel films I definitely enjoyed the 2 plot twists in 2017, and I think you'll know what I mean with the other one, but that's one of them. Number 12, the first Ant-Man. I really like Ant-Man. This is getting to the good part, like the higher good part now. Ant-Man's fun, entertaining. It has some problems with editing that kind of bug me every time watching it. It's kind of like a thing that turns me off. You could definitely tell there's an Edgar Wright movie in there somewhere, which is why I think, you know, it kind of shows with Ant-Man and the Wasp that this time they're having Edgar Wright and they do something worse. I kind of wish Edgar Wright did make this movie, but Marvel wouldn't let Edgar Wright do his movie, probably because he was going to go against something they already planned, which is completely understandable from both sides. I could be wrong, and Marvel could just be completely twats, or Edgar Wright could have made a really dogshit movie, which I don't believe at all. But Ant-Man is great fun, and I definitely think the villain is worse on paper than the one in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but by execution, Yellow Jacket is way better than Ghost. Number 11, the Black Panther. I don't know how many people are going to get mad. Black Panther should be number 1. Why? Because it's got black people in. Yeah, I said it. It's so... Black Panther actually pisses me off, just knowing how high reviews it got. It's a good Marvel movie, but it's literally Iron Man, but if he was black. And you can kind of see that the way I see it, you could call me racist. I'm not, though. Like, it's a good movie, but I just feel like if the entire cast was white, it wouldn't get the love it's got. It'd be called an okay Marvel movie. I just feel like because it's the movie for the black people, it's amazing. I say the same thing about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is far from perfect. I think it's on the same levels as Captain America First Avenger. It's an okay good. Okay? Now, one thing I hate about Wonder Woman is that it's an okay good movie, but people treat it like it's a classic. Why? I feel like it's a female lead. I just feel like that, and even Marvel are going there now. They're doing this whole feminist, black thing, equality thing, just to get good reviews and Oscar-worthy stuff. Because now they've got a new Oscar thing for most popular movie. And I think that's absolutely stupid. How these movies are literally getting extra reviews and getting rigged just because it's either got a female or a black person in the lead. And it's black related. It has no racial themes in it. Has no really relevant themes except for hiding weapons and technology. But that's not like a theme that impacts you. You don't sit down as a kid and go, oh my god, I relate to our country keeping weapons from other countries. Oh my god. No, you don't sit down and think that. It's not relatable. It's an okay theme, but I think the theme in other Marvel movies is 10 times better. I'd say this, I think the theme of Thor Ragnarok is a pretty good theme. And yeah, Thor Ragnarok got really good reviews, but Black Panther got better reviewed. Why? Because it's a black person. I'm saying it now. Like, I've known so many, like, people who don't know anything about Marvel, who hate normal Marvel films, but all of a sudden they're now all over Marvel films because of Black Panther. I find it racist how this film is being treated. I just find it that way. Like how Wonder Woman is treated, I find that very feminist. I hope Captain Marvel doesn't fall down that same thing. Jessica Jones Season 2 did, and they introduced feminist themes. I'm rambling on now. Number 10, Iron Man 3. People who hate on this film are, I'm just going to say it now, fucking idiots. Yes, it's got a twist that's not in the comics. But isn't that the point of a twist? To fucking surprise you. You're not meant to know everything. The biggest complaint... I remember watching a review of these two comic nerds, quote-unquote nerds, who were saying this movie sucks. Their reasoning was, the plot twist isn't like the comics. That's the most bullshit thing ever. I think if you made a movie exactly like the comics, you already know the ending. You already know the surprises. You already know what's going to happen. You've already spoiled yourself the fucking movie. I think it's a good thing that they change it and they make their own movie. Shane Black made his own movie. I feel like the reason why Edgar Wright couldn't make his own movie was because some fucking comic fan out there would be like, it's not net comics. Shut up, mate. That's literally the only complaint I see about this movie. They say it's a dog shit movie, but the only problem they say they have is the plot twist. And it's not a bad plot twist, it's actually quite funny. And the way it's executed is hilarious. Shane Black is a pure talent, and I'm looking for The Predator. I'm really looking forward to that film. He also did The Nice Guys. And now people are already hating on The Predator, just because in the trailer it says director of Iron Man 3, and they say, oh, they're going to make The Predator turn out to be fucking whatever. Just shut the fuck up. You're absolutely pathetic. Iron Man 3 is a great movie, and I love how it focuses more on Tony Stark than Iron Man, and that's another complaint I hear about this. People go, oh, why isn't there much Iron Man in it? Wow. Why is it all Tony Stark? You didn't say that complaint about Spiderman. It's more Peter Parker than Spider-Man. What's the difference? They both execute their messages well. And it's a great film. Number 9, Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is definitely the Flash Gordon movie that we've always wanted. It's definitely the Thor movie we've always wanted. Secretly, that we didn't know we wanted, but we did. Taika Waititi said if Freddie Mercury was still alive, he'd make the Queen, the band Queen, to do the musical score, which I would have dreamed, because that would have been amazing. You can definitely tell Flash Gordon inspirations. It is a Thor spoof. It's hilarious. It's one of the most funniest Marvel movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I genuinely think it's really funny. The message is good. Kate Blanchett's good on paper, but the way she's executed is a bit iffy, to be honest. But at the same time, Kate Blanchett is a good actress, and what she does in it, I feel like she could have been written better, but what she does in it is quite great. And Thor Ragnarok also has my new favourite MCU character, which is Korg. And I want them to have their own standalone, Korg and Meek. Their own duo film. Number 8, Avengers Assemble, the thing that sort of began cinematic universes on a whole in Hollywood. Avengers Assemble is something that obviously was never done before. It's history. And I don't think it's the best Marvel movie like people say, but I do think it's pretty good. It is high on my list, obviously. The villain choice was great for Loki. I can't explain what isn't good about it. The only issue I kind of have with it is at moments I think it's kind of getting outdated a bit, because back then the movies like that, the trailers had rock emo music in that. And watching the trailer's so cringy now. It's nothing epic at all. It's just rock music, like emo. You know, and basically, it's kind of getting out. There are moments when it which is, you could definitely tell it's a 2012 movie. But yeah, I really enjoy Avengers Assemble. Number 7, Doctor Strange. I really like Doctor Strange. I think it's really good. I think it's something really unique, something really different from Marvel, and they executed it really well. I really like the director's vision of it. I really like how the main villain of it isn't truly exactly the main villain. Dormammu is. Dormammu's great, but also I love how they set up. I love how they didn't just skip to the chase, where I forgot his name now, but Doctor Strange's pal, basically. I'll just say the guy who's playing Scar in Lion King. He is basically the Doctor Strange's big bad guy, but they don't choose him here. They actually use this movie as Doctor Strange's origin and also his origin to villainy, and I really like that. I really like how the big villain has his own origin movie in this. So then you don't skip to number 2 or number 1. You basically see, oh, I had a tragic backstory, blah blah blah, 5 minutes later, I will kill you now. You know, it's none of that. I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange 2, if it happens, especially after what's happened in Infinity War. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Doctor Strange 2. Number 6, the thing that started it all, Iron Man. I love Iron Man, the first one. I genuinely think it's an awesome movie. It's fantastic. It's really fantastic. Great movie. Absolutely great movie. You know? What else can I say? It's Robert Downey Jr. and he finally went back. Tropic Thunder and Iron Man definitely helped him with this. Number 5, Captain America the Winter Soldier. This was where the Russo brothers first came in. Now look where they've gone. The Russo brothers are a pure talent. You can definitely see that with the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier is absolutely amazing. I love it. I think the villain in it is quite great in his own way. I think the Winter Soldier in it as well is amazing. I think Black Widow being it and the chemistry they have and the introduction to Falcon is great. I genuinely think at times it's funny and at times it's gritty, it's realistic, it's badass. It's the Captain America movie, which is amazing. We finally got a standalone Captain America movie. I didn't really consider Civil War a standalone Captain America movie, but I see why it's a Captain America movie. But Winter Soldier is absolutely great. I love it. Number 4, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I love it. I think it's like, I see why the common viewer prefers like Volume 2. Because Volume 2 is funnier. But I think the issue with, as, I wouldn't say I'm a critique, but I critically review movies. I'd say from my point of view, Guardians of the Galaxy is a better movie narrative-wise, character building, and also it's still an hilarious movie. Definitely not as funny as Volume 2, but definitely better. It was the introduction to something none of us have really heard of. And now, all of a sudden, everyone... this movie is sort of a history maker. Marvel decided to choose a set of heroes, which no one's heard of. No one really cares about. Star-Lord and Groot and that, the actual team, was like introduced in the 2000s, if I'm right. And so they're quite new. They are quite new. And they make a movie, which is a really risky decision, and it's executively done well. I can't pronounce words, but you know, it's really good. It's really fun. The soundtrack's great. Really enjoyed it. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't pronounce words today. What's wrong with me? Number 3, Spiderman Homecoming. Spiderman Homecoming is definitely the best Spider-Man film, hands down. I don't care. Oh, what about Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2 is great, but it's not as great as Homecoming. I generally think Homecoming is the best Spider-Man movie, and I feel like Far From Home won't beat it. I'm looking forward to Far From Home, but I don't think they can do better than that. I think Spider-Man Homecoming is the perfect Spider-Man movie. It balances the high school element of it. It also balances Peter Parker from being his own character and Spider-Man being his own character. He's actually an 18-year-old who looks like a 15-year-old playing a 15-year-old instead of a 30-year-old who looks like a 30-year-old playing a 20-year-old or 18-year-old. You know? Tobey Maguire, he was a great Peter Parker, not really a great Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, he was such a terrible Peter Parker, but he was a great Spider-Man. Tom Holland, he's just perfect in both roles. I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we'll ever get in a long time. And he's an absolute talent. He worked his ass off with his dancing career and that, and just to get this role, he deserves it. And he seems like a great guy as well. And this movie is absolutely amazing. I love it. I love the whole message in it. I genuinely think the best scene in it is when he's crushed by rubble and he has to lift it up. I do think the trailers did kind of ruin a scene which would have made me absolutely go mental in the cinema, which would have been the ferry scene when Iron Man pops up. They never showed that. I think the movie would have had a bigger impact. And if you remembered earlier how I said about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, how it was one of the plot twists of 2017 I really loved. Well, Spiderman Homecoming has, I think, one of the best executed plot twists in that the MCU is really done, unless if you can consider Infinity War an entire 2 hour 30-minute plot twist, then yeah, you can't beat that. But with the whole Michael Keaton Vulture, I think Vulture is definitely at the time he was my favorite MCU villain. Now Thanos has kind of taken the spot, and I'm not including the Netflix shows because I think Killmonger is second place if I included the next Netflix shows. I said Killmonger, didn't I? I'm actually a retard. I'm actually the Purple Man. Killgrave. I'm an idiot. I hate myself. Kill me now. There's something wrong with my brain today. But yeah, I genuinely think Spider-Man Homecoming had a great plot twist. The Vulture is an amazing character as well. I like the setup of Scorpion as well. And I'm looking forward to Far From Home a lot, especially with Jake Gyllenhaal casted, because he is one of the best actors out there now, especially with Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's definitely his best role, and if you haven't seen Nightcrawler, turn off this video, watch it now. We look in the store, buy it on DVD, illegally download, I don't care. It was on BBC Two not so long ago, so it'll come back on soon. So, number 2. Now this is like when the ones which are definitely my favourites. Well, I think top 3 are definitely my favourites. So Spider-Man's in there. But number 2 is Captain America Civil War. Civil War is awesome. Yeah, it has some problems. People say it's more of an Avengers movie, but I see why it's a Captain America movie. Because you notice that it's following Captain America more than Iron Man. And if it was called an Avengers movie, people would complain that why isn't Iron Man in it as much as Captain America? Why has Captain America got a small role? Because I've noticed in the Avengers movies, Captain America doesn't really have a big role in all 3 of them. He does what he needs to do. He does what he's there for. Yeah. So why would he be the main? I get it. Why? I get both sides, but I'm more on the Captain America side. And talking about Captain America's side, one thing I love about this movie is they make you change sides. Iron Man versus Captain America. The way they did this, I like Zemo. His plan sort of does make sense, but at the same time, I remember watching an analysed video, and it kind of does. I really like how Zemo wins, and he does win. Yeah, he's just a guy, so you're not expecting some big battle. I kind of wish Zemo got a suit, but it would have kind of taken away the whole human element of his character. He's just a guy that wants to break the Avengers apart, and he finally does it. And I love the ending. I love how the Captain America, like, I was on Captain America's side at first with the whole, government thing, and I was like, yeah, Captain America, Team Cap. And then when the twist comes as well about Bucky killing Iron Man's parents, that is so well done. The Russo brothers are just pure talent, because it makes you go, holy shit, It makes you shit your pants. And it was also the introduction for Black Panther and Spider-Man. and both of them being introduced was great. Fun fact, they were actually going to kind of spin the roles around. Spider-Man would have had the bigger role, and then Black Panther would have been. But I'm trying to imagine that and think, what was Uncle Ben at the government thing, and he got blown up, you know? But I'm happy they chose Black Panther to have the bigger role. It was a great introduction for Black Panther. Black Panther, I nearly said Canther. Black Panther is great in it. And Spider-Man is also great in it for a small role, but it's a great role. Back then, I knew he was the perfect Spider-Man just for being on the screen for about 15 minutes. That's when I knew this is Spider-Man we definitely deserved. And Homecoming definitely showed that as well. But Civil War's great. It makes you divert sides. I was still sort of on Team Cap's side at the end, because I do think it wasn't Bucky's fault. It really wasn't. I do think it's shameful that Captain America hid from Iron Man. Like hid the truth from Iron Man. How Captain America did. No, that really hit me as well. But it's a great movie. It's really a great movie. The Russo brothers definitely have a talent. And now number one on the list, there's one movie that obviously I'm missing out of all 20 MCU movies. And I think you already know what it is, because I kind of mentioned it at the beginning. Avengers Infinity War. Whoa! Finally can talk spoilers about this, and if you haven't seen it, then what's wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? I remember telling off my mum because she didn't see it in the cinemas. And she loves the MCU as well, so I was quite surprised. Out of all the movies in the MCU she's seen in cinemas, she didn't want to. Well, she didn't want. She wanted to, but she never really sorted it out. But Avengers Infinity War, it's definitely the most impactful, intense, and most emotional Marvel movie they've done. By the first 10 minutes, just when Loki and Heimdall dies like that, no snap. I didn't snap on purpose, by the way. You kind of knew your heroes, the people you've kind of grown up with, the people you look up to. And these movies are not safe. There's no happy ending. You knew like that. There's no happy ending. And, you know, it's dark. It's what I want out of a Marvel movie. It's dark. It's intense. And it's great. It's absolutely great. And I genuinely think this movie has so many amazing moments. I can't really pick out what my favourite moment is, but I'm kind of deciding the two. Thor's entrance in Wakanda is definitely one of them. Sorry for the yawn. A bit tired. But one of my other favourite things in this is definitely Spider-Man's farewell. His apology, his goodbye, him saying sorry. It's just... it's quite sad. Seeing a character that you've just seen. And it goes back to the line Tony Stark said to Spider-Man after the ferry incident in Spider-Man Homecoming. He says, if you died, I'd feel like that's on me. And Peter Parker goes, I'm sorry. And he goes, sorry doesn't really cut it. And it really, you can definitely tell the Russo brothers obviously watched that scene. Definitely before they wrote this. Where Spider-Man says he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go. And his last words are, I'm sorry. And he dies in Tony Stark's arms. Now imagine the guilt he's going through. He could have lost Pepper as well. He's got so much on his mind. And it's quite sad. And it's quite emotional to think about. Because these aren't even real characters, but you care so much about them. Which is what's so amazing about these movies. They're so cleverly written. They're really good. They're really good. So, what did you guys think about my list? Sorry if I get pausing at moments. I'm getting distracted by TV. But yeah, what did you think about my list? If you thought of something different, comment down below your list. And also comment down below your opinions on my list as well. You know, what would you change in that? If I'm completely wrong in saying that Iron Man 2 is the worst, Iron Man 2 is secretly the greatest, just comment down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure, I'm not even promoted by Marvel, but make sure you get Infinity War on Blu-ray and digital or DVD, because it's absolutely amazing, and if you haven't seen it, then what is wrong with you? Anyway, this has been Stroke My Milk. I hope you enjoyed, and peace.